Welcome back to English for Specific Purposes Level A2. Today, we will be discussing business. We are your hosts. I am Mr. Carter and
I'm Miss Sophie. As Carter said, today we are going to talk about business. But before that, let's look at our agenda. We are going to start with a brief introduction as always. After that, we will have vocabulary related to business and it will be followed by reading.
After our reading, we will have grammar discussing countable and uncountable nouns, followed by a quick summary of the whole lesson, and finally, a little bit of homework.
გამარჯობა. კეთილი იყოს თქვენი დაბრუნება ჩვენს ტელესკოლაში. მე სოფო ვარ, ეს კი მისტერ კარტერია. დღეს ვისაუბრებთ ბიზნესზე. ვიდრე უშუალოდ გაკვეთილზე გადავიდოდეთ, როგორც ყოველთვის, ერთად გავეცნოთ დღევანდელი დღის გეგმას. დღევანდელი გაკვეთილი დაიწყება მოკლე შესწავლით. ამის შემდეგ შევისწავლით ახალ სიტყვებს, შემდეგ კი წავიკითხავთ ტექსტს მომხმარებელთა მომსახურების შესახებ. ამას მოჰყვება გრამატიკული სავარჯიშოები არსებით სახელებზე, ხოლო შემდეგ კი მოკლედ შევაჯამებთ გაკვეთილს და დავასრულებთ ყველასათვის საყვარელი საშინაო დავალებით. Let's get started.
Let's begin.
Carter, what do you think customer service is?
I think customer service is when you go into a business. It's how the people in that business treat you.
You are absolutely right. Can you remember when was the last time you had a great customer service?
Actually, it was about a week ago. I bought a new phone, and when I went into the store, the people there were very friendly. They asked me questions about what I needed and what I wanted, and I was able to get the perfect phone for me.
Sounds great.
It
I'm
was.
very happy for you.
Let's move on to our vocabulary.
ახლა კი გადავინაცვლოთ ახალ სიტყვებზე.
Today, our vocabulary words all consist of being related to being a customer.
It's interesting that all the new vocabulary consists of two words.
It is.
And our first word is customer needs. Mr. Carter, can you please give us an explanation for needs? What does it mean in general?
Right. So before we talk about customer needs, let's talk about needs. What are needs? Needs are things that you must have to have a satisfactory life. So, as humans, we need water, shelter, food, clothing, transportation.
That's right. Can you tell us what customer needs are then?
Customer needs are a little different. They relate to business. Customer needs are things a customer wants or requires from a product or a business.
Thank you very much. Customer needs is noun, and in Georgian it means მომხმარებელთა საჭიროებები. Customer needs, მომხმარებელთა საჭიროებები. Let's try it one more time. Customer needs, მომხმარებელთა საჭიროებები. Our next word is customer loyalty. But before we move to customer loyalty, let's find out what is loyalty.
Loyalty is generally not changing in your support of friends or beliefs.
That's great. What is customer loyalty then?
Customer loyalty is buying products or services from the same company over a long period of time. In business, customer loyalty is wanting the customer to come back to your business over and over again and believe in your product and hopefully establish a friendship.
That's great. So, Mr. Carter, if I go to one and the same shop all over again, does it mean that I'm a loyal customer?
It does, and it probably means that you really like that shop.
Customer loyalty is a noun, and in Georgian it means მომხმარებლის ერთგულება. Customer loyalty, მომხმარებლის ერთგულება. Customer loyalty, მომხმარებლის ერთგულება. Let's look at our next word, customer service. Mr. Carter, can you please explain what is customer service?
Well, like we touched on in the introduction, customer service is really just the feeling you get with being part of a business, going into a business, being greeted, having the employees talk to you. That is all part of customer service.
Thank you very much. I think we will talk a bit more in the reading section about it. Customer service is noun and it means მომხმარებელთა მომსახურება. Customer service მომხმარებელთა მომსახურება. One more time. Customer service მომხმარებელთა მომსახურება. Our next word and very important word related to customers is customer satisfaction. Mr. Carter, before we go to customer satisfaction, can you please give us a definition of satisfaction in general?
Satisfaction is a good feeling you have when you get something you want.
Does it mean that the feeling that I get while I achieve success, it's satisfaction?
That is satisfaction. Anything that you try to do or anything that is given to you, if it makes you feel good, that is satisfaction.
And how is it connected to customer satisfaction?
Well, customer satisfaction is a measure of how happy customers are when they do business with a company. So if you go to a company and you like doing business with them, you have satisfaction. If you don't have satisfaction.
And probably you are not loyal to that.
Probably you're not loyal.
Yeah. Customer satisfaction is a noun and it means მომხმარებელთა კმაყოფილება. Customer satisfaction მომხმარებელთა კმაყოფილება. Customer satisfaction მომხმარებელთა კმაყოფილება. Our next word is customer experience. Mr. Carter, what is experience in general?
Experience is the knowledge that you get from being in a lot of different situations.
And are there good and bad experiences?
Yes, Miss Sophie, there are a lot of levels of experience. Some can be good, very good, some can be bad or very bad.
And how is it connected to customer experience?
Customer experience is the way someone feels when they do business with a certain company. It's similar to customer satisfaction, except customer satisfaction is always good. Customer experience can be good or bad.
Customer experience is noun and it means მომხმარებელთა გამოცდილება. Customer experience მომხმარებელთა გამოცდილება. Customer experience მომხმარებელთა გამოცდილება. I think this is our last word.
I think so as well. Now, let's move on to our activity in which we will match the words with their definitions.
ახლა დროა გადავინაცვლოთ სავარჯიშოზე, სადაც უნდა შევუსაბამოთ განმარტებებს სწორი სიტყვები.
So, our first sentence is things that a customer requires or wants from a service or product. Miss Sophie, what do you think this could be?
Well, I think that must be something related to customer needs and generally needs. Am I right, Mr. Carter?
You are exactly right, Miss Sophie. Wants and needs are very similar. If you go into a store and you want something, that is your customer needs.
That's great. Let's look at our next definition. The fact of a customer buying products or services from the same company over a long period of time. Well, I have a feeling that it needs to be something related to loyalty because it's a long period of time.
Exactly, Miss Sophie. The key to this question is period of time. So experience, service, and satisfaction, they
Not
don't
really,
fit.
yeah. I think so too. I think we are right. It's customer loyalty. Let's look at our next definition.
The part of an organization that answers customers' questions, exchanges goods that are not satisfactory.
So I think the answer here is quite obvious. It is something that is related to how well you serve to the customer.
Exactly, Miss Sophie. Just because satisfactory is in the definition does not mean it's customer satisfaction.
It's a little trick.
It is. This question has to do with how you serve the customer, which means
It is a customer service.
customer service.
Let's look at our next definition. A measure of how happy customers feel when they do business with the company.
So, the key word in this is happy customers. What makes customers happy? So, experience can be good or bad.
So I have a feeling that the answer for this one is customer satisfaction.
And I have a feeling you are right.
And the very last one, and quite important one, is customer experience. Can you please, Mr. Carter, read the definition for this one?
Definitely, Miss Sophie. The way someone feels at all stages of doing business with a company or organization. Customer experience has to do with time, like loyalty. You can have good experience, bad experience, but hopefully you can have good experience again. Now, let's move on to our reading activity.
როგორც კარტერმა თქვა, გაკვეთილის ამ ნაწილში გადავდივართ კითხვის აქტივობაზე. Let's imagine we are going clothes shopping.
Hi, thank you for coming in. What can I do to help you today?
Well, sir, I am looking for some formal clothes.
Okay, let's see what we can do to get you what you need.
Notice, when you greet customer, you need to be friendly.
Always greet your customers with a warm and polite manner. Don't forget to be professional. Thank the customer for coming in or for their call and show enthusiasm for helping them. So, you said you needed formal wear. What is the occasion? Is it for a party or something serious?
It's something more serious. I have an interview.
Okay, well, we have a large selection of pantsuits, skirts, and nice blouses. We have colors from navy blue to brown or classic black and white. What can I help you with?
You need to remember that you need to try to ask right questions and find out what their motives and needs are. In order to improve your chances to satisfy your customer, try to determine what the customer likes and dislikes. I have a lot of skirts and I'm not interested into navy blue or brown. I have that quite a lot at home. So I would go with the classic black and white and some pants, blouse and a jacket maybe, black jacket.
Okay, will you be needing shoes as well?
No, I don't think so. I don't need shoes.
Okay, well, we have everything over here. We can gladly take care of you. Always listen carefully and try not to interrupt. Making notes will help you be 100% sure what your customers' interests are. Ask questions if you do not have the answers in order to get the information you need. Well, here are your clothes. Our changing rooms are over there. If you need any more help, let me or another employee know. We will gladly assist you. And if that's all, I can meet you at the checkout counter. So
Thank you very much, sir.
You're very welcome.
Also, remember that once you and your customer both understand what has been decided and you both know what you are going to do and when you are going to do, you can end the conversation by saying, "Thank you, customer."
Now, let's move on to our reading activity.
როგორც კარტერმა თქვა, ახლა დროა გადავიდეთ კითხვის სავარჯიშოზე. In our activity, we need to match the number of the tips to the sentences given on the screen. So let's start. We have here listen carefully,
Greet the customer.
end the conversation.
Find out your customer's interests.
Well, let's see what was tip number 1. Mr. Carter, I think it would be quite awkward if we started the conversation with the end the conversation.
I think so too. So it must be greet the customer.
So tip number 1 is greet the customer.
Remember to always be friendly with a warm and polite manner when you greet the customer. It is a good start for good customer service.
Mr. Carter, can you please tell us what is the second tip?
Well, it's not in the conversation,
Definitely not.
but it could be listen carefully or find out your customer's interests. What do you think, Miss Sophie?
Well, I don't think you can listen carefully directly if you don't find customers' interests first.
Exactly. So after you greet the customer, you need to ask them a few questions. This will help you provide better customer service.
And probably after you ask lots of questions, or exactly the right amount of questions, you probably need to...
You need to listen.
Yeah, right. Listen carefully would be our next tip. Tip number 3. And
Exactly.
finally, you need to obviously end the conversation. It's important how you end the conversation so you don't lose the customer loyalty and customers have good experience with you.
Exactly, Miss Sophie. You want to make sure they feel appreciated when they leave. Don't just say, bye-bye. Say, thank you for coming in. Please come back and see us again.
And this was our reading activity.
Now, let's move on to our grammar activity.
ახლა კი გადავიდეთ გრამატიკის დავალებაზე.
Our first example is, he works for a large international company.
And our second example is, investors have made a big profit in just 3 months. Mr. Carter, I see that some of the words here are highlighted. Can you please explain why is that so?
Because, Miss Sophie, those are nouns. Company, investors, profit, and months.
I also notice that some of these words end with S in the end, and some of these words do not have S. Can you please give us a bit more details on this, please?
Definitely, Miss Sophie. Nouns that have S are plural, which means many. Nouns with no S are singular, which means one.
ინგლისურ ენაში არსებითი სახელები იყოფა ორ ნაწილად. გვაქვს თვლადი და უთვლადი არსებითი სახელები.
Nouns are divided into 2 categories, countable and uncountable. Countable nouns include individual things, places, or people. Countable nouns can be singular or plural. Let's look at our example. He has many different jobs. Job, singular, jobs, plural. Singular, one, plural, many. With countable nouns, we use a, some, a lot of, many, and a few. Many investors have made a big profit. Many investors. Investors is a countable noun. Uncountable nouns include substances, liquids, materials, and abstract nouns. Let's look at our example. Investors have made a big profit in just 3 months. Profit is uncountable. Uncountable nouns do not have an S form. With uncountable nouns, we use some, a lot of, much, and a little. Now let's look at our second example. Investors have made a little profit in just 3 months. A little profit, uncountable. Now let's move on to our grammar activity.
ახლა კი გადავინაცვლოთ გრამატიკის სავარჯიშოზე.
In this activity, we will group the nouns, determining whether they are countable or uncountable.
ამ სავარჯიშოში უნდა გადავწყვეტოთ არსებითი სახელები თვლადია თუ უთვლადი. Let's look at our first word. Mr. Carter, I see the first word is company. Can I say companies?
You can, Miss Sophie, and that makes this noun countable.
And our next word is customer. Mr. Carter, I remember we used this word in plural. We said customers, many customers come in our shop. So
it is countable.
What about information? I am not sure about that.
Information is an abstract noun. Therefore, it is uncountable.
What about progress? Can I say many progresses?
You cannot, Miss Sophie, because progress is an idea, which is another abstract noun.
And therefore, it's uncountable. What about employee?
Employee is a person, and people are countable nouns.
So employee, employees. What about profit?
As we saw earlier in the example, profit is uncountable.
And our next example is investor. Can I say many investors?
You can, Miss Sophie, because investors are people, and people are always countable.
And our very last word is tips.
Tips. It has a S, so it must be countable.
And now let's continue with a little summary.
Today, we had vocabulary connected with customer service. Miss Sophie, can you tell us one of the vocabulary words?
Actually, I can give you all 5.
Okay, sounds great.
I think we started with the customer needs.
That's one.
After that, we had customer loyalty. After that, we had customer service, customer satisfaction,
Very good, Miss Sophie.
and customer experience.
Very good, Miss Sophie. That's all 5. And after our vocabulary, we had a reading about customer satisfaction and providing good customer service.
And after that, we had grammar exercises about nouns, countable and uncountable nouns.
Very correct, Miss Sophie.
მოდით მოკლედ შევაჯამოთ ჩვენი გაკვეთილი. დღეს ჩვენ გაკვეთილზე განვიხილეთ ახალი სიტყვები, ამის შემდეგ გვქონდა კითხვითი დავალება მომხმარებელთა მომსახურების შესახებ, ბოლოს კი დავასრულეთ გრამატიკით არსებითი სახელების თვლადი და უთვლადი ფორმებით. ახლა კი დროა გადავინაცვლოთ საშინაო დავალებაზე. Let's give them homework.
Let's give them homework. We know they want it.
Yeah, we know they love it so much.
And for the homework, we would like you to write a short paragraph describing an experience you had with customer service. It can be good or bad. Whatever you want to write, you can.
Do not forget to upload your homework on the address given on the screen. And we have provided the template for you, but please do not copy. We know that you can do way better.
It's not difficult. Just try.
And our next lesson will be about psychology, a very interesting topic.
Very.
Hope to see you next time. Bye.